Hello, what's good, everybody? It is Thursday night, and we are ready to get back into it. All things Secret Invasion. The season is almost over. This is the second to the last, the penultimate episode. We got some things to talk about, and we're going to be talking about it with the one, the only Yasker is a scroll. What's up, fam?
Yo, I finally explained why I hate this guy so much on Whisker. His man is a scroll, and yet y'all don't see it, and y'all still love the man.
What is wrong with you and Yasker? Oh, Yasker can't be a scroll as old as he is.
Come on, man. Free Yasker.
He has been doing it. Oh, you already know the one and only, the other one coming down this road with us, the one, the only Khaleesi Connor. What's good with that, AK?
What is going on? What is going on? I would like to share just one little anecdote, if you would permit me, good sir.
Absolutely.
Real quick. You know, that the first time we saw, you know, our dear Khaleesi with a shotgun, she was looking like this. It wasn't that convincing to me. It wasn't that convincing to me. But then Khaleesi O'Connor, Agent of Scroll, entered the chat, and I'm here for it now. I'm here for all of it. And I will stand by my theory that I have on her and what they're doing with her character when we get to that part, because I don't think I told you guys yet.
Oh, can't wait to hear it. Absolutely. And yeah, that was all down for the John Wick scene. Them ladies was getting it. They had the quick reloads going. I was there for all.
No time wasted at all.
Oh, we're gonna get it. Oh, talking all things Secret Invasion, episode 5. This one's called The Harvest. And I gotta say, like, right out the gate, I thought the title Harvest was gonna have to do with like all those bodies in the pods that we keep seeing in the trailers. Like, were any of you feeling that? Or I mean, that kind of threw me. I did not think the Harvest was what it ended up being.
Mm-mm.
I
I didn't get that vibe from it.
Really? I thought the harvest, I'm like, they're harvesting all those bodies or organs or something that we keep seeing in all those pods. Like, that has to be the harvest. But you weren't feeling that way either, fandom? You didn't get that out of it?
I knew it wasn't gonna be like that literal. Has to be something that's like, oh shit, like what they're like referring to here. That like Gravik has been like cutting for episodes now.
Yep.
I'm kind of torn right now. Like, at this point, I can see how they're going to wrap it up in one more episode. But like I was just telling fandom backstage, I don't think I'm going to love the ending. Like, how are we feeling about this series so far, AK?
I'm digging it. And for, you know, as far as like action and story and actually progressing forward, I think this episode might be my favorite in the season so far. Yeah, because it gave us some answers and some juicy breadcrumbs, gave us some more questions, and this one rolled along very nicely.
There you go. You feeling the same way, Phantom?
Yeah, this episode and the first episode probably like the favorite of like this series so far.
Agreed.
Okay. Do you feel they're going to end this series like on a cliffhanger that we'll only get the answer to in the next Marvel movie, AK?
I think that's highly possible. It might not even be the next Marvel movie. I mean, the next show that we have coming up is Loki, I believe. So there could be some tie-ins to what's going on there. But we're definitely going to have a cliffhanger. You know, the nature of the show and how they're building this phase screams cliffhanger, because we're still kind of in the beginning of it.
100%. I'm the same way, Jake. I'm liking the season, but I'm with you. I don't know. I just have this sick feeling that they're going to biff the ending. Like, they're going to try to either get too much in or have to leave a cliffhanger and not be able to like explain it all. But I don't know. Something about watching this episode just put a pit in my stomach. Like, they're not going to be able to nail this ending the way I thought it was going to come. But you never know. Maybe they're going to throw me for a loop.
I mean, the next time we're going to see Nick is the Marvels. It's like the next one coming out. So,
what do you think? Am I going to have to watch Miss Marvel to know what's going on with that?
No.
Boy, just watch it.
I think you should watch it. I thought it was a fun show. I really like what they were doing with Kamala's powers and the explanation of it being not just, you know, random and human, but it's like ingrained in her culture and in her bloodline. So it's pretty cool. I think you would like it. It is a little teeny bopperish, yeah, but we're building Young Avengers. You know, that's to be expected.
You survive CW, you can survive this.
Yeah, if you survive CW.
Oh man,
you can handle this
Marvel. Last season of Flash on DVR and haven't even started it. So, yeah.
Same here, DJ. Same here.
painful, but I got to get through it. Ouch. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I think there'll be like a couple week run in between this one and the next one. So I don't know. Might have to rip through Miss Marvel just to be caught up and make sure I know everything that's going to happen when the Marvel series actually pops off. So might have to just
the biggest connection. Sorry, the biggest connection I think is just for what they've seen, what we've seen in trailers for the Marvels and whatnots, is the power switcheroo thing that's going on with them. That moving into that movie, that's going to be, I think, the biggest takeaway for the show.
We shall see. I have to check out and see if that unfolds like that. Jake, let me know. Are we skipping like that? I got this little antenna thing that's driving me nuts, showing that like it's weird down at the very lowest. So let me know if we're skipping out there, or if anything's going on with that, if I can switch that up. But it looks like so far the president is going to make it. And do you think he was like coherent or cognizant enough to understand what Fury was telling him, AK, when he was telling him not to trust Colonel Rhodes?
I was hoping we would get some sign that he does remember, but it's not looking good for the home team on that front. It's not looking good at all. I think he was too out of it, and Fury wasn't there to, be the first to chat with him. So it's going to be dicey.
Oh, man, I don't know. I think they left it really vague like that on purpose. How you feeling about that, Yasker as a Skrull? Do you think he heard Fury or not?
Yeah, to keep it vague and just to like build up tension, they had to like try to like keep it vague as to whether or not he actually heard. And then if you like passed out and like they give you oxygen and like you may like wake up and go back passing out. So it's like you don't know if he truly did hear anything or what he was saying, right? Which parts did he hear?
Yeah. Good. What's that?
I was just agreeing.
Good to hear, Jake. At least the audio's going, so if it's just the video skipping, I guess we'll have to deal with that. But yeah, I got to get that figured out. That's going to drive me crazy. But my biggest problem with this episode was Fury and his illusions of grandeur. Like straight away when he puts that chair in front of the door, like of the OR, like him and his little 9mm are going to stop a group of agents that are about to come bum rushing in.
It's Nick Dan Fury. It's going to do something.
Stop it. I mean,
exactly. Come on, man. Come on. The plot armor that Nick Fury has had this whole series, you think he wouldn't have survived that?
Yeah, that was just.
They even did that. They gave us that after their little standoff, and all you assholes was just standing around the corner waiting. You could have taken care of the problem right now. Like, why is everybody stalling on going after Fury if he's enemy number one right now?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. They need that scapegoat or the public to be after him or something. Yeah, a lot of the writing here, I just did not sink in. We're going to talk about it.
Tad bit clunky.
But back in Skrullville, Gravik and crew return, and Pagan is not looking too happy with Gravik's latest moves. Then he stepped like way over the line and questioned him right in front of his troops. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Come on, Pagan, you should have known. But by killing his number one guy, didn't Gravik just seal his fate by having all his people kind of turn on him? Like, now that he's shown his true colors of just being power hungry, like, he's just a monster. Who'd want to follow that, Phantom?
Yeah, there was like any like questioning of doubt. It happened the moment he killed his right-hand man. I mean, even in that whole speech, like, hey, you're telling us to do X, Y, and Z. It's failing. You told us to go get this serum because you thought, you got the places that Nick told you. Failing. You thought the whole submarine thing was going to be good. You failed there. You thought that, you're going to send people to go kill Nick Fury with his wife. That failed. It was just like failure after failure after failure. Hey, you killed Talos. But at the same time, you also could have kicked Nick Fury. But then I could see like why he kept Nick Fury alive this whole time for like two things. One, to break him down even more, and also the harvest thing. Like Nick Fury's like the only one who knew like the location. Well, to our knowledge, who knows? There could have been another person.
Yeah, because that was really driving me nuts. Because I was with Pagan. Like, you've had multiple chances to kill Nick Fury, and you haven't. So why? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, if you're this ruthless or whatever, like, why wouldn't you have killed him already? And now we know because he needs to figure out where the harvest is, and Nick's the only one that knows.
I think it might be even a little more than that.
What do you feel?
I'm thinking that he's still in that child mind. He's rebelling and doing all of the things, the most, to get under Fury's skin in the biggest ways possible. Like it was funny when Pagan was talking, and then Nick Fury's name came up, and he just then we saw the Groot arm come out. Basically, he was saying, look, I can talk shit about my daddy, okay? You, however, will shut the hell up. That's the vibe I got.
Yeah, Jake, they're definitely making an Iron Man 3 because that's where that came from. That being able to cure yourself and like heating up and getting your cells to regenerate.
The extremis, yeah.
Yeah, the extremis. That's exactly where it came from with Iron Man 3. But yeah, definitely getting that feeling. And you're right. I mean, what was Nick going to do? He had to try. I mean, he had to do what he could do to try to save the president. I mean, he did kind of end up being smarter about it in the end and hiding and kind of sideswiping him. So I'll give him that. It was just like, come on, man, call somebody, do something. And we're going to talk about that too here in a little bit. But it just goes to show like why the Skrulls are homeless right now. Like they're way too quick to kill instead of listen. Like they need to quit following men like Gravik into the abyss because they are going to go extinct.
But then if heard that warning last episode, remember?
With a girl?
No, in that council meeting they did.
Yeah, when
Indian lady when she was like, you know, we're the way we are here now, not because we don't fight back, but because we fight back too much.
Yeah, we're too quick to go to war, exactly. And that's exactly what she was talking about. Like she had it spot on, absolutely. And then if we hadn't already figured it out, we see in here that Gravik is ready to sacrifice all in pursuit of achieving his goal. And it seems like he's willing to chance like everyone dying, even himself. Like that's why you can't let somebody with no will or reason to live be in charge. Like they're just willing to go mad king on him and burn them all. Like, and that's where it seems like that's where Gravik's at. Like, is he just crazy or is he just like a warmonger? Like, what's going on with this guy, Phantom?
I think it was like what AK said. Like he's still like in his like child mind. He's still there ever since like his parents died, escaping. Skrullos, it's just never changed, really.
Or yeah, maybe that's just in his DNA. Like his parents ended up dying in a war because they were probably just war dogs, and it might just be in his blood too. Like that might just be that kind of Skrull. Like he's just gonna battle and fight to the end at all times. Gravik tells Rhodey like change of plans, and Rhodey didn't totally seem on board. Do you think these two are gonna have a falling out by the end of the series, AK?
Absolutely. We're already seeing the division. You know, Pagan, that was just like part one. That was only part one. And I'm also kind of mad that none of our theories panned out with the other black dude that came in to New Skrullos because he's dead now.
Yeah.
What was the point of you, guy?
I was definitely thinking he was going to be a plant. But yeah, I don't know. They just kind of threw him in. That was crazy. Rhodey challenges Nick, saying he won't kill him because Fury's not ready to die. Like, when did that change of mind come in? Just 2 episodes, he was calling him washed and saying that he doesn't think he's ready to die. Like, that was kind of bad writing, or Skrulls just morons, Phantom?
No, at that point he was just ready to kill him, but now it's like it's personal. I feel like I'm stealing a line from somewhere.
If he took it, or he's just maybe because he's actually got a gun to his face, he's trying to be all nice, like trying to talk his way out of it. But it's like you were just saying he was ready to die and washed like not 2 episodes ago. Now all of a sudden, like he's not ready to die. Like make up your mind. And Rhodey called Fury like Nick to his face, then seemed to purposely say it like 2 more times. Like, why does using his first name feel like such a verbal bitch slap, AK?
I think right now I don't even think Rhodey's saying it for the reason that we're thinking that he's saying it. I think that person is just enjoying dressing Fury down. That's it, because he commands power, or he used to, in their mind, and he was always, you know, like the Fury. So now he's talking to him, being extremely condescending, extremely disrespectful, and that's the aim he's going for. He doesn't really have any reason to give any hints of saying that he's a Skrull because he called him Fury. Rhodey already knows that Nick knows he's a Skrull, so that it would be pointless if he was doing it for those reasons.
Yeah, it just seems like he's getting his petty on and just giving him that little bitch slap. Like, yeah, Nick, nobody calls you Nick. I'll call you Nick. Yep. Nick. Like, oh, I don't know. That just seemed bad. And yeah, I think, what do you think? You think the Road Skrull doesn't want to murder their own? So is there any way that Rava/Rhodey becomes the new head of the Skrulls since Talos is dead and Gravik's probably not going to make it through?
No.
You don't think so?
No. Actually, this is a good interjection for the theory that I have. I think it's going to end up being our Khaleesi that takes the mantle, because I believe they're melding the character of Gaia, which, if I remember correctly, is MCU exclusive. I don't think she's in the comic. I could be misremembering though. But either way, they're blending her with Queen. I think it's like a Vanka or something like that. She's Queen of the Skrulls in the comics. So now that she's already broken away from Gravik, she still has that fire in her to fight, to lead. She's going to take up the mantle where her dad dropped it, and she's going to pull in everybody, especially since there's a whole bunch of fuckery going on with Gravik right now.
I like that, and that could happen even more so with some stuff we're going to talk about here in a little bit, because yeah, I think some things are about to go down with all that. But in the opening credits, like, the entire planet goes from blue to green. Does that mean like the Skrulls aren't going to end up winning and taking over in the end, Phantom?
No.
That's not what they're trying to tell us with that?
Mm-mm. If they take over, then what was the point? What was the point?
Game over.
I think they'll get close.
They'll get close. That's a tough one to beat, and you never know if they're all gone, because some of them could just be still hidden. And
I mean, obviously, they're still going to be hidden. It's like, what, millions of them here, or billions, they said?
Million.
I wouldn't say billions. I would say a million.
But that's going to populate.
I mean, yeah, and there's going to be some babies in there, but if you still compare that to the numbers of humans, that even Jim Bob that sits out in the backwoods is going to see aliens like, oh, not today. Jim Bob's going to show up with his rifles and all 20 of his dogs to go fight the aliens if necessary. They're still vastly outnumbered going up against humans.
That is true. He said when I seen Rhodes was a female, I assumed she was the queen. She might be. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Gaia. Some things are going to go down with Gaia, I believe we're going to talk about. But yeah, I don't know. We see the head of state watching Fury footage, and they're already showing not only him kill Maria, but also a half-changed Talos. So if the world is already seeing this, then I'm right back to saying, why can't Nick just easily explain the truth that it wasn't him that killed Maria? It was a shape-shifting Skrull, Phantom.
Because then you can just say, oh, I didn't do this. A Skrull did it. A Skrull did it. A Skrull did it. It's like, hey, you can't win this argument.
I mean, this is Nick Fury. Oh my gosh, a legend. What's up, Sir LT Giles in the chat? Good to see you, brother. What's up, man?
LT, the ladies' man himself. Yo, why didn't Fury have a contingency plan for this? Did you see the look on his face when Rhodey said that? You know, within like 5 minutes, this is going to show up online of you killing Maria, and his face was like, this is why I still think Fury's playing him, though. I feel that in my soul, and I think in that last shot that we had of him, I think that confirmed that part of the theory that we had.
What's that?
That this isn't actually Fury.
Yeah.
Or that the one that we've been seeing was another LMD.
I'll just say it. I've been saying it, so I'll just say it now. And we're going to talk about it a little bit later when they talk about it. But I think all these different grave sites are different Nick Furies that have died. They either cloned his ass and have a couple of them, or he died a long time ago. And the Skrulls, knowing as important he is, because they were all working for him as like his own secret agency, they know how important this man is. One of them probably duped him a long time ago in case he did die, and that's just been a Skrull Nick Fury from jump. And that would be the one way that they could explain how he's been, like, he was in the comics way back in like Captain America days. So how was he alive way back then and still kicking it this day and age, unless he's been multiple people or a Skrull the whole time?
I heard they did that.
It doesn't have to be multiple people.
He did like multiple clones of himself, or some like androids or something.
That's the LMDs, the life model decoys. But I think that it's something that they left out a pullover from the comics that they should not have, and I feel like it could still come in because it's the same thing I was saying about Natasha during the whole first 10 years of the MCU. Fury has a form of the superhero serum in his blood in the comics. So did Natasha. That's why we're this many years later and they still look the ages that they look. But they never worked that into the script fully. This is another opportunity that they have to properly introduce that. Because Fury, I get it, but why the dead men are supposed to tell no tales? Why they have to have options?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense unless there's a grander picture we have not seen a puzzle piece to yet.
Which I'm sure there is, and I'm guessing it is coming. But Oh, they got so many ways they can go with that and what's going to happen. So yeah, I can't wait to see how they pop that off next. But I don't know. I think I might have called it way back when, and I just think he might be a scroll this whole time. Like that's how he's been alive so long. I love your super serum in his super soldier serum in his blood. That would help keep him alive that long as well. Just like Steve Rogers. But yeah, I don't know.
I hope if he's a scroll, it just makes it seem so the hell was the point of this show? We already knew the scrolls were infiltrating.
That'd be kind of sick, and it'd be a lot more kind of heartfelt. Like, would you have loved me in my own skin? When Vara was telling him that whole time, and like the whole time he's like, "Woman, I'm a scroll, and you don't even know it." So don't get it twisted. Of course, I'd love you in your own skin. So yeah, I don't know. It'd be a whole deeper meaning.
That's the interesting part too. Yeah.
I just love how Sonya just waltzes in and gets the job done without breaking a sweat. This woman is my favorite character in the show by a mile, leaps and bounds. She is amazing.
That's our light skinned English auntie right there.
Oh just shot
I've fully adopted her.
Shot that man on a hunch that he might be a scroll, and if she was wrong, it would have just been like, oh well, better to be sure, better safe than sorry. Like she's just so cold and ruthless.
She laughed. She laughed before she did it. He gave all of the bravo, talking shit. I'm not gonna let her betray Gravik, and she was like, well, you know what? I get it. That's cool. Like the men on this planet that are from this planet, they do that dumb shit too. But here's one thing you didn't think about. Boom, you're dead now.
3 steps ahead of the game. I thought you knew.
I love her. She comes in with so much chaos, and it's lovely. She does it with that polite English accent too. It's fucking awesome.
You on board? You on the Sonya train fandom?
Of course.
Yeah. My girl just kills it. I mean, she is the scene stealer in every scene she's in. Just absolutely amazing. And then back at Scrollville, Gravik's about to catch one. Like, he just happens to be talking to Rhodey right before he got jumped. Did Rhodey have anything to do with his men setting that up, or was that just those soldiers seeing one of their own cut down somewhere? What do you think, Phantom?
Wait, what scene is that?
When all of Gravik's guys tried to jump him and take him out, he was on the phone with Rhodey right before that happened. So do you think Rhodey might have called and told them to do that, or do you think they just saw Gravik kill one of his own and they're like, "Fuck this, let's take this guy out"?
Nah, I don't think that was planned. By Scroll, yeah.
You think it was just his men? He just saw him be so ruthless to one of their own, so they're like, let's take him out?
Mm-hmm.
How about you, AK? You on that same boat?
I think it's a possibility that he did do it. Because, we've seen a few scenes before, like that one where Vara asked to speak with Gravik, and he was like, nah, you talking to me. And he gave the order and all of that for Fury to be taken out. It wasn't supposed to happen yet, though. Gravik never gave that order.
Wow, I never even thought about that, because his men were like, you told her to do that knowing that she wouldn't. He didn't. That's probably why he had to kill her, because he didn't want to have to explain all that. No, he didn't give that order.
Exactly. I think.
Oh, wow. I didn't think
I think what's his name was definitely working with Rhodey.
Great call.
To get that stuff done.
Yeah, that's a good callback. I forgot all about that, because he said, no, you're talking to me when she wanted to talk to him. I didn't even put that together. So yeah, that absolutely could be Rhodey trying to take the ranks and trying to be the new Scroll Queen. I like that. Oh my god, that's crazy. Oh man, so speaking of the Skrulls being dumb, why once they got Gravik down did they not just slice him up immediately? Like, they're trying to take him out, they all just start punching on him. Like, this is a super Skrull. Kill him while you have the chance. Like, just gonna beat on him and have one come up with a knife, like just in time to get him.
It was 20 of y'all in that room.
You know what I'm saying?
20 of you. Okay, he took out Pagan. That's fine. You didn't need him. But then y'all go to attack this guy 1 or 2 at a time. I don't care if he's a super Skrull. If all of you would have jumped in with the stabby stabs and break this bone, break that bone immediately all at once, plus he was being suffocated with the bag over his head, y'all could have taken him down.
So
somebody just needed to come in there with the freaking axe or something.
What was that,
but that didn't happen.
Yeah, pretty much one for the watch scene. Everyone just come in for the watch. Stab, stab, stab.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, at one point they had him on the table, and then they all just start punching on him. Like
he was about to go down.
Him right there. They had you laid out on the table, had the plastic bag. Don't start punching him in the stomach. Stab this man. Chop his head off. Do something.
And then when the guy came in with the knife, he aimed for his midsection. There's some vital organs there, yeah, but it still takes a while to bleed out from a stab wound to your body, and you don't even know if you're gonna hit any of those vital organs. I don't even know what the Skrullos anatomy is to know where their damn vital organs are. Put that shit in his neck. Put it like right in his eye and through the brain. What?
But even then, he's a super Skrull though, an extremist though. Like I don't even know if these.
But that's what I'm saying. If they would have done all of that all at the same time, or at least in quicker succession, chop that shit off. You can't grow all that back.
Yeah, they had to have a sword.
People with extremis in their blood still can be killed.
That was their problem too. It's like, what are you doing? You're gonna try to take this super Skrull out, and the only thing you have is this little knife. Come on now, just stop it.
Look. Like Debo said, what you gonna do with that? Besides, make me mad.
You know what I mean? And these are your soldiers. This is who you're gonna try to take over.
Yeah, you trained it. You train these assholes. Let's say they wouldn't have mutinied. These are the assholes that are going to be on the front lines with you. For real?
Yeah, you're doomed to fail if this is what's going on. So that doesn't even make sense. So Gravik already knew it was game over for him as far as anyone in the compound wanting him to follow him any longer. But he really needed to seal the deal, so he went ahead and just slit Beto's throat. Like, what a wasted character plot point. Like, what was the point of this man? It's like you could have done
such potential.
That kind of bummed me out. So yeah, that's why like he doesn't even care. But did he ever really care? Like he was so quick to order that bombing on Skrullvania, like, and we already know their number one rule: like once you enter, you're not allowed to leave. So has Gravik been planning on sacrificing those Skrulls the whole time, fandom?
Yeah, there's leverage.
Oh shit!
That is brutal.
We are witnessing Skrull Jonestown.
I mean,
if y'all don't know that story, I'm not going to tell it here. Just go look it up. You'll see the shit was crazy.
Yeah, and that's just, I mean, it's like they tell you right when you come in, like once you come in, you're not allowed to leave. Mm-hmm. We just thought it was because so they can't go tell anybody where their secret hideout is, but no, it's so you're trapped here as leverage, so we can use you as basically bait or just kill you if we need to for leverage. Like that's just crazy.
If you all for your people, how do you put all of them in that much danger just so you could pull a prank at your dad and get him mad?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Speaking of daddy, Nick heads back to the safe house and Gaia's there waiting for him. Did you think she was going to blame Fury for her father's death and want some payback, AK?
Mm-mm.
You thought
not at all.
You thought it'd be more like it was already?
Yeah, I think she just wanted to maybe see what exactly happened because obviously she wasn't on the compound anymore to get the report. And like she said, she wanted to bury her dad.
And she wasn't there to harm Fury. She only wanted to bury her father. So she also like lets him know that Gravik, what he was truly looking for, something called the harvest, and Fury knew exactly what that was. So again, it wasn't what I thought it was, the people being harvested. And he tells Gaia, go ahead.
I'm sorry, just real quick. I would like to point out just, for the culture, culture that fandom is in also, that place that they were in and how significant it was. He said during World War II, that the Nazis like bombed it all to hell. But after that, once the rebuilding and everything started coming in, that town that was a safe haven, Brixton, was a safe haven for West Indian immigrants. And he felt a lot of strength there. So that again makes me curious a little more about like Nick's for real origin story. We know his origin story as far as S.H.I.E.L.D. and onward, but where did you and your single mom raise you when you were a child? How do you know all of this stuff, and why?
Did you say it was Memphis or Alabama or something? When he was taking the train with his mom, didn't they live in Alabama?
Was it?
I thought they, or Georgia.
It might have been.
I thought they did say that, something like that. I have to go back.
It might have been, yeah, but that building that was a different place though. So that's
absolutely, yeah.
I love the history that he brought up with that.
Yep. Bring in the aliens. It's a great place to bring the immigrants. Same way, even though these ones are from a different planet. And he tells Gaia to contact Vara and she'll know how to help bury her father. And then the cop lights and the sirens pop off. And I was like, wait a minute. You're really trying to capture the number one spy on the planet and you're coming in all loud with lights blazing and shit. Like
they sent top flight security.
I was like, come on. This is,
it was Craig and Day Day trying to pull up.
It was ridiculous. I was like, that is some crazy lazy writing right there. Like, you would not come in on the number one spy on the planet like that. Like, you better. Mm-hmm. So again, Olivia Colman absolutely crushing and stealing every scene she's in. Like, she is definitely, like I said, my favorite character. But just right off the rip when she walks in, like those two walk in, she's like, "Oh, hello, Skrulls." Like, just and it just gets better from there. Like, I am all in on everything.
I love the character, her personality. She really is controlling the room, both in acting wise and as her character.
Talking about
I love. Right. Well, I'm good at two things. Where I stand just really depends on you. You know, I'm really good at being your bestie, but I'm also wait. I wrote it down. What the hell? I gotta say it right. Devilishly good at not being your bestie.
Very much.
And you know, they start talking shit, and she says, "Oh well, damn. All right, well, Nigel." Blah 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 blah, and he was like, "My name's Victor." He said, "Oh yeah, I know that, but the dude behind you with the silencer to the back of your head, that's Nigel. That's my friend."
Like, she is just
did not know who they were fucking with that woman, man, and I love it.
I like to see her and Val in a scene, like bring her in. What is it? Dark Avengers.
She would run circles around Val. She would not. Val would not press her at all.
No, it'd be a good scene though. It would be nice watching.
It would.
That should be the whatchamacallit, after credit scene of how this show should.
Oh my god!
Bring in Captain Britain to go undercover with the freaking with the Thunderbolts.
There we go. That's the name I'm looking for.
There you go. And I mean, you can't bring in Olivia Colman, have that big a name,
but just have her small space.
Steal every single scene and then not bring her back again. Like, she has got to be in the MCU from here on out. Like, I need more of her. I'm here for it, and I've got to have it.
That's the same thing we were saying about Vera Farmiga playing Kate Bishop's mom in Hawkeye. You don't cast an actress of that caliber if they're not going to do some big shit later.
So yeah, bring them all back. I gotta have them. You can't just slip them in for this series and let her go. Mm-hmm. She is amazing. She's been this series for me.
Absolutely.
Then Guy gets to Vera's house just to find out she's staying there waiting to be assassinated, which probably would have happened if Guy hadn't shown up. Like, it's a good thing she got there. Like, I don't know. Oh, girl.
She wasn't waiting to be assassinated. She told you what she was doing.
She seemed like she was
comfortable. She said, "Bitch, this is my house. I'm comfortable here. You think that little asshole wants me to run? You think I'm gonna run? How dare you?"
I don't know.
If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die in my house, comfortable as shit.
Yeah, that's what I think. She was ready to die in her own home. How about you, fandom? Could she have taken them all by herself?
Of course. Like I was telling this to AK when you stepped away. Like, she did not want to die in some dark alley. You know, she wanted to go out, and if she's going to go out in a blaze of glory, she's going to be in her own house in her own terms. And she was well equipped. This is Nick Fury's place. Like, come on now. Even without even Nick Fury's place, she was like she was seen to be like some top tier Skrull here. So still can handle herself regardless.
That makes me want to know who she was. Like, when Skrulls was still populated before all this shit. What was your job, ma'am? Because I get you're Nick Fury's wife. Nick Fury's always going to be prepared, but you are like extra doubly prepared. We saw the a little portion of her laboratory that she had. What the hell was in all them beakers and flasks? I would like to know what else you were testing, ma'am, because I'm here for all of it. She pulled out the things, and this is why I have Khaleesi Connor on here, because Khaleesi reached all the way back into the Sarah Connor that we should have gotten in that movie, and she came out swinging. Like, they were coordinated without ever even having fought together before. That's just their training as fighters in this big resistance, and it showed, and it was a lovely scene. I think this was probably my number one scene in the episode tonight. Absolutely. My number one, and then Sonya with her awesomeness is my number two.
Yeah, no, the John Wickness, I was there for all of it. It was dope. But yeah, I'm all Sonya. But yeah, that scene was amazing. Like I said, that quick jaw and then absolutely reloading on the fly, and
no questions needed to be asked. They got 3 shots in the house, and next thing we know, they already done dipped down, headed up the stairs, backpacks at the ready. Like, I actually slowed that part down because for a second it seemed like they were putting each other's backpacks on while they were spinning. I was like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, let me see if it, but it's not. I got it slowed down enough to where I could tell, no, they were just very efficient in how they put them on.
That was hella smooth.
And that shit was just smooth. Yeah. The formation that they were in, like that is well trained soldiers right there, and I fucking love it.
Back to back. No, I was dope. John Wick scene, and it was everything. I was like, yep, there goes a lot of the budget, and it was worth it. Every penny. Every penny. That was definitely in the series. But again, when Rhodey walks in to talk to the president, did Ritson remember what Fury told him, or was he like just being wheeled into the operating room and he didn't hear anything? What do you think? What do you think, AK? Did he hear anything, or was he just too out?
I think he may have heard him, but he may not know or may not remember just yet that he heard that. And I'm saying that just with, a slight bit of medical knowledge, because my mom and my aunts were all in the medical field growing up. So by default, me and my cousins had to learn some of that shit too, because they would quiz us on that. Why they thought we need to know, I don't know, but that's neither here nor there. That sometimes happens with people that are out and very incoherent. It might take a week, it might take a month or a year, but sometimes you get those flashes of what was happening while you were in the hospital. I've experienced that myself. To where I thought, to where I thought my mind was playing tricks on me about something, but then people told me later, no, this is what happened when you were barely lucid, blah, blah, blah. So I think he's going to remember at some point, but he may be a little too far gone to be helped before he rememers, though.
Which is know, but not be able to do anything about it. Because the first thing he said is like, "How you feeling?" He said, "Helpless." Like he knows, like he can't. There's shit that needs to be done, but he can't do anything because he doesn't know who he can trust because they're all Skrulls. How about you, fandom? What do you think? Do you think he heard Fury and was acting on it, or he didn't hear it?
Because then Nick Fury told him not to trust Rhodes. I think he's starting to piece together like certain things, like this isn't the road.
Yeah.
This is a Skrull. Because remember in the previous episode, he's like, I can smell the bourbon off your breath. It's like certain things. He probably is starting to like pick up like, this isn't the roads that I know. So maybe he is onto something.
Yeah, he was already giving Rhodey bombastic side eye.
He knows that there's nothing he can do about it. So he's just kind of waiting and seeing, playing it by ear, seeing what he can do. Gravik calls Fury directly to see if he can get him to bring him the harvest. And he also said, bring iodine pills. The reactor rooms can be brutal. So it's like been pointed out by Pagan, like I said earlier, that Gravik's had a few chances to kill Fury, but hasn't. So will Gravik ever kill Fury, or deep down does he just actually care about him too much and doesn't really want to kill him? Like you kind of touched on that father-son relationship.
Yeah, I think that's it, because you mean to tell me you got this motherfucker on speed dial? But you got your people going out on these wild goose chases? I mean, because like Gaia said, he took the shit that he found, but that's not what he was looking for. The only reason he took what they found was because they couldn't find what he was looking for. And he still wanted to get that one leg up, so he took the like B-level powers that they found. And it just seems really, really weird. Like, bruh, if you really could have found him that easily, why didn't you just cut him down? And Pagan was right in that square when they were in Russia. Fury could have been dead 10 different times in that 1 5-minute scene. But Gravik let it go. He could have been dead on the highway when he was saving the president, but Gravik let it go.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
so, I mean, you should expect your people to be pissed at you for that. You've been selling this dream just like Talos.
Right.
Just like Talos, and they left, but now you just more of the same, my guy. You can't be mad at these people for being upset with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel it. And I like nurse. Jake points out that the nurse might have mentioned what he said too, because the nurse and doctors were there. So maybe the nurse kind of snuck in and said that. Like there was Nick Fury was here, and he was telling you not to trust somebody. So I don't know what you want to do with that information.
I have a question.
I like that.
Did y'all catch that when Rhodey did actually get there, and one of the nurses came out, and we're in the restricted section because the surgeon, she made sure to tell Fury he got to fall back because you don't got clearance no more, bruh. And the woman answered him honestly. It was like, yeah, he's down there in OR or such and such whatever room. And he was like, damn, y'all just giving the information away. Take her away. Bruh, she knows you have fucking clearance to be back there. Why would she not answer your question? You're locking her up for doing her job? Right. You're not just some random person. You're fucking Rhodey. What do you mean?
Yeah, that was kind of, again, that doesn't make the writing kind of slip in.
Stupid as hell.
Make sense. Yeah. And they weren't even past those first doors yet because then Nick was still there and like put him up against the wall right after that. So yeah, that's great. That'd be a trip sitting there waiting for your assassination, only like to put it on pause to perform last rites for a fallen general. Like, I'm being hunted right now, but let me take a quick time out to help this girl give her father a proper send-off.
Hey.
That would be kind of a mind trip.
Talos deserved that respect, though.
He did. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, we all love the John Wicked scene shooting out. Like, those ladies, they knew how to handle the weapons. That was hella dope.
That's why I have it playing behind me right now. Love that scene.
We also see Fury doesn't need to be a Skrull to alter his appearance. He's got that same tech from Mission Impossible and like the Black Widow to mask his appearance at the push of a button. That was kind of tight to see. So kind of puts us on a little more even footing with the Skrulls.
Did you catch that part though? Or what I thought was real funny? Sonya looked at him like, "You got all this tech and you mean like only your face and your voice changes?" He was like, no, ma'am. The newer model does all that extra shit that you talking about. This is the older model." And you put it in the bag, and that's I think just a little subtle cue. Like if you forgot, Fury don't have the resources that he used to anymore. So it's a struggle. He had to get the discount copy.
I did love when Fury got in the car and Sonya popped the dial on him. Like Fury's like, "This is what we're doing." She's like, "Yep."
But she said, "You fucking right. This is what we're doing." And yo, one thing I will say, like that is just the music scene in England. That's legit how they roll. A lot of times they do not have any type of stigmas where music is concerned with, compared to how some Americans act. It's very interesting. I love that Fury was so surprised at that, but at the same time, I'm looking at it like, yeah, that's something that all of my English friends would do, and nobody would bat an eye about it.
Oh, that was amazing. She's like, "Yep, that's absolutely
right. You damn right, I'm down with the shits. What the fuck you thought? I'm riding in here listening to Mozart? Fuck out of here with that."
Still got her little proper like seatbelt, please.
You know,
looking all nice and like she's so prim and proper like grandma. And then we'll take.
She's Mary Poppins. She's Mary Poppins' auntie. I guarantee you, this is where Mary Poppins got her sass from. Was from her.
Oh, just too much. And then on the way to yet another of Fury's grave sites, he informed Sonya that Rhodey is a Skrull, and she was shocked and asked, like, who isn't a Skrull these days? And I noticed Fury didn't mention himself when given the chance, so I say confirmed Fury's a Skrull.
Please, honestly, during that scene, I thought that she was a Skrull at this point.
Oh,
like if the series ends and she turns out she's a Skrull, I'm like, well, god damn it. All these scenes where she's like, oh, let's see if you're a Skrull. Let's see if you're a Skrull. I'm like, this whole time you were the damn Skrull.
You know what I'll say to that? Well played, my lady. Continue. Okay, I got Auntie Vara in the mix now. I will pull Auntie Sonya in too. Okay, she's been doing the good work. She's killing all the bad ones, so I got no problem with what she's doing.
Yeah, she's Taylor's style if that's his way, but I don't know. And like I was saying earlier, is that why he has so many grave sites? Because they're actually not fakes. Like different Furies are actually buried in them from over the years. Because as previously stated, Fury is a Skrull.
Totally all decoys. Totally all decoys. I will also, though, the scene that we just talked about, the second part of her surprise with Skrulls actually came up here. Now that we're at this grave scene, and he was like, "Okay," she's like, why the hell would you come all the way to Finland to have one of these fake grave sites? Don't you got a couple of these?" He said, "Well, yeah, dead men need options, but why Finland?" Finland because this is where Priscilla and I honeymooned. And she turned around and gave the extra bombastic side eye, like, "Bitch, what?" Yeah,
what?
And like Fury said, "Bitch, you tried to tell me that I didn't know what the fuck was going on with the times. Why you look surprised now?" He pulled a Uno reverse on her, and I thought that was a really great scene.
Oh, I don't know, Jake. I'm thinking he might be. I think that they might just flip it on us. I think that's how he's been alive so long and been around for so many years. He's an absolute Skrull, 100%.
Skrulls ain't immortal, though. That's not the MO.
Oh, they're not immortal, but they live for hundreds of years. Like Gravik, when we saw Gravik, he was a middle-aged man. He just, like old girl said, only to the human eye does he look like a little boy. But he was a middle-aged man at that point. He did come clean though to Sonya about the harvest and like what it is and how we know like why Gravik wanted it so bad. And again, when Fury like gets to his gravesite, his illusions of grandeur were staggering. Like Sonya just straight up asked him, "Why haven't you called any of your special friends yet?" And he comes back with, "We can't always count on them swooping in to save us," which fair enough. But wait, yes, you can. That's kind of what heroes do, isn't it, fandom?
Nah. Seeing how you saying like all this was like his kind of fault, he has to do it himself. He made the mess. You got to clean it up. All this harvest thing, that was his fault. He's got to do it.
You have friends with capes, son. I mean,
no. You're missing what fandom just said there, though. Not only is Fury responsible, well, he feels responsible for this, so he wants to take care of it, but Gravik wanted him alive to get the harvest. If he calls the Avengers in and whoever else they can bring in, like let's say the Guardians of the Galaxy swing by for shits and giggles, Spidey shows up with his suit on because nobody knows that it's actually little Peter anymore. Gravik can very easily snatch any one of them up at any given time. That's giving him a back door. That's giving him a back door into getting the harvest.
He wants the harvest, so he's strong enough.
But he already has uppers in his bloodstream right now. Now, if he gave Captain America Groot arm, Cap would be done.
Captain America would snap it off and break it. That's why he wants their blood so bad, because he's not as strong as them. He wants to.
He would try to, but it would still penetrate his chest and come right out his back before he could break it. And he would, and even if he did break that off, he would still bleed out. Cap can still be killed. He's not completely invulnerable.
He's not, but I would like my chances a lot better with Cap than with him. He's like, that's what I'm saying. Get the capes involved. That's what they're there for, to help save the Earth. That's what I'm saying. That's what heroes do.
Now, look, if you want to call in some heroes right here, I'm gonna say call in the Defenders. Except for Iron Fist. Fuck him. Call in the Defenders. Call in the Daughters of the Dragon. If you don't know, Daughters of the Dragon, that is Misty Knight and Colleen. Call those guys in. Call in the street team.
Danny would do that.
Do not.
Maybe would have got better.
Loris needs to stay in the reach. So I'll say on that. But you call in the lower level folks. For overall honesty, you could even call in a couple of the Young Avengers at this point already, because we know Patriot can handle it, Riri can handle it, and they're not going. Gravik, I don't think, knows about them, so he's not going to be prepared for that.
He almost got taken out by his own men that don't have anything. You don't think the Avengers can come in and snatch his fool up?
That's what I'm saying. You don't need to pull in the Avengers. The regular Skrulls, if they would have ganged up the right way, could have got him. So you don't need the big game that he's already going after. You don't need to put them in his crosshairs right away. You can use our lower level heroes to do that, the ones that he's not looking for, because he didn't know that those ones were there. That's what I'm saying.
Call somebody, but like, to back it up.
Call somebody, but don't leave it to just you, Fury, because seriously,
my God, this is personal. None of them
need help.
I mean, what is he talking about? This is personal. None of them have lived the life I have or can defend the world the way I can. Like, what? Have you lost your damn mind? Like, yeah, they can't do it like you. They do it much better. Like, get off your high horse and call somebody. This is getting serious.
Theory. We know that, Feige quietly slid in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. into the actual MCU counted shows on Disney Plus. He quietly backtracked, saying that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was not part of the MCU, but they are. And we've been hearing rumors about Sky coming back. So what if he calls Quake?
You call somebody. That's all.
What if at some point, hopefully in the next episode, I don't know if it's going to happen. What if Quake and Agent May show up? Better yet, what if, surprise for everyone, the original Agent Mockingbird shows up and freaking Linda Cardellini comes in and starts wrecking shop because Hawkeye's at home babysitting. I'm just saying, you could call in your lower level folks because they still have the skills. You do not need to pull the big guns in because that's just giving Gravik another avenue to get at them.
Yeah, I was like, speaking of getting serious, when he ended it all on, all I have is what my mama gave me between my 2 ears and what another woman wrapped around my finger. And well, if that's not enough, I don't know what hope we have. Motherfucker, call somebody. That's what hope we have. Call.
You know what that sounded like?
Like, is this going on acid?
Y'all remember Sin City? When homeboy with the messed up face was going through his like list of items that he got from the hardware store, and like the last thing on the list was mummets, and it was just his hands. I'm like, bro, can you maybe call in more than just your hands though? These are some very dangerous individuals. You might need a little more than that.
I was like, put down whatever it is you're smoking and call some Avengers. This is just, you are delusional, Fury.
This is a little bit of Fury's arrogance, though. I will totally cop to that. Yeah, he is still being a little arrogant fuck. But at the end of all this, you see that limp is not limping anymore, right?
Yeah.
His beard is not as unkept, and he don't look as wild-eyed as he did before he walked into the Sarah Connor mausoleum.
Scroll Fury is starting to remember some of the deeper memories. That real Fury.
Is that what it is? Is that what you're gonna call it? Okay.
Yeah. That Scroll Fury starting to figure it out. Like, oh, wait a minute, I got to be a little harder. This man was the man. Yeah, I was just the illusions of grandeur on this man were killing me this episode. Like, just
sure. He's being way too cocky and way too self-righteous.
I don't know what.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it is. A man with a cape, a man that can pick up a hammer. That's what it is.
There's a bunch of kids in the game that can give a harder fight than you right now, bruh. You literally could call Wakanda and tell Shuri, hey, so I got this thing that happened. Like, can you please come help?
Yeah, this is for the world, not just you, but yeah, whatever. Sonya sees why they're there and says, like, you moved this so Gravik wouldn't find it because it's so dangerous, and now you're just going to give it to him? Fury said, yep, but he said yep with a wry smile. So, like, by give it to him, did Fury really mean, like, he's going to take it himself and give it to Gravik by wiping the floor with him or something in that? Or what I actually think may happen is that Gaia's going to show up. Gravik's going to be too strong, obviously, for Fury to do it. So Fury's going to end up giving that super serum to Gaia and have her turn into the Super Skrull. And then he'll have a Super Skrull.
Enter Queen Vanki into the MCU under the new name of Gaia, Super Skrull Queen of the Skrulls.
Mm-hmm. I think that what do you? So you're on with that? You think something like that could happen, or
something? I think it's going to be like that because we know she has the Extremis in her, but she needs a little more than that because Gravik has the Extremis plus the freaking Groot DNA plus the ice monster DNA plus freaking DNA of fucking Cull Obsidian. That's a lot. That is a lot. So yeah, like you were saying, if you want to really call in the big guns, you can call the Avengers, or you can give their DNA to someone who can absolutely already wreck shop, as she proved in this episode, and have her be your soldier.
Do we know that she doesn't have everything that Gravis has? Like,
that was my next question.
I think she has everything he has. I think she shot herself up the same way he did in that machine. I don't think she left anything out.
And then see, that depends on how Gravik even got the treatments, because we know for sure the Extremis is in there, but we don't know if that was mixed in a cocktail with everything else or if he took that at a later date.
Yeah, they didn't really explain it, but I just thought like it was all at one. Once that machine changes you, it gives you all three of those powers or four of those powers.
Highly possible. Highly possible.
I figure she's going to have everything he is, and maybe it's just going to be a stalemate. And then Fury will inject her with the Super Skrull, and then that's when she'll be powerful enough to take him out, and then he'll have a new Super Skrull on his side.
That highly possible, and I do not believe that one vial that he got is the only one in existence. Just like he has multiple grave sites, I think every last one of those grave sites serves a purpose to store something.
Absolutely, it could be. Or, like I said, Fury is a Skrull himself, and he's just going to pop it, and he's going to become the Super Skrull. Like, he'll be the Super Skrull. That's why he thinks I'm the only one that can do this, because I know I'm going to take the serum, and I'll be the strongest of everybody. So, I don't know. Something like that might have gone. How you feel about all this, Yasker, as a Skrull?
Well, specifically, it was like 2 or 3, 4, 5 things right there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you feel like this is going to end up? Do you think Gaia's going to get the serum? You think Nick's going to get the serum? You think nobody's going to get the serum?
I say no one gets the serum. No one gets the serum. Gaia's gonna like defeat Gravik. Just if she only has the extremist, that's all she damn needs. She just needs to kill Gravik. That's all I care about. Mom died because of Gravik. Talos died because of Gravik. She has to kill Gravik. So I'm saying, oh, maybe Nick Fury got to kill. No.
No.
It gotta be.
No, yeah.
If anything, probably gonna see maybe like Nick fight Gravik, thinking like, okay, Gravik's gonna get the upper hand, and then next thing you know, it's gonna turn into Gaia. Or it could just be a 2-on-1.
No, yeah, you're right. It definitely has to be Gaia because Gaia owes him a whooping for her mom being killed. And she owes him double now for his dad dying directly at his hands. Yeah, so, yeah, it's a wrap. Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be the two of them. And that is when she's going to take her opportunity to be leader to the masses of Skrulls, and she's going to become queen. Khaleesi will ride again.
And I don't know
about that. Is that if she takes a serum, it's like she's going to have the powers of some other superhero. And it's like, well, now we have to see this superhero with her. It's like, it's repeated powers. I want like new powers.
Well, that'll be a new power because she'll have everybody's power. She'll be like Captain Marvel, like better, stronger than Captain Marvel. Like her powers plus. Which would be insane. Samuel Jackson 70 doesn't want to be a superhero. Shoot, he doesn't want to die. Like Rhodey said, he's like, he's not ready to die. So give me that super serum so I can live another 170 years.
Yeah, there's so much more story to tell with Fury involved, man. I don't think Fury's gonna die.
Yeah, nobody's lived the life you live because you're a Skrull and you've lived like 5 different lives, like 5 different Furies. And why were they being so ridiculous? Like, did Fury really need 3 different secret stashes in that wall? Like, did you really need one just for your eye patch? You needed a whole little secret compartment just for your eye patch? Like, come on.
Maybe don't judge him.
That was ridiculous.
That's a special eye patch.
Oh,
right. And that's what I was saying in the beginning. You know, he put the eye patch on, you know, when they did that little zoom in on his face, you see the beard ain't as scraggly as it was anymore. And he walks out, the limp is nowhere to be seen. He put on the swag coat and Shaft walked the fuck up out of there, ready to go shoot some shit. So I think that lines in with the theory that we all had at the beginning of the season is that, you know, Fury's faking being this week. He's faking all that random ignorance. And it's about to go down next episode.
He wasn't faking. He was just
I thought like Razor and Clippers was going to be in there too. I was like, are we going to see that too? This, you know?
You thought what? A Razor and Clippers? He did get that lineup. He did get that goatee lined up for real.
Oh, gotta be clean when I go whoop this ass real quick.
Facts.
Oh, and last thing out the door, Fury calls who I at first assumed was Gravik and says at the time, let's finish this. Then walks into the snow like a glorified G, but now I'm not so sure that was Gravik. Who do you think he was calling right there, AK?
I don't think it was Gravik either. I don't think they gave enough time, or at least they didn't show him having enough time to plan anything with Gaia. However,
kinda, because remember she said like, "Oh, I'll put on a good face," so it could hint like it's the face of Nick.
See, and that's what I'm getting to. After that little thing that her and Khaleesi went through, he might have just been calling her to put that action into plan, but also. Theory that I talked about earlier, better yet, what if he was calling Coulson or Agent May? And we're gonna get the some of the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. smack that right back into the MCU.
Yeah, that'd be dope. How about you, Fenton? What do you think? Who was he calling?
That or this whole time he was calling homegirl who died in the first episode.
That's where
Maria, that's exact. That right before you said it, Maria popped into my brain.
I'm like this whole time she was still alive.
Time for Plan B. Let's go, bitch. Wheels up in 30. We ride at dawn.
Because remember, she was talking like, "Are you sure about this? Because if you're not sure, people could die." And then all of a sudden, she just ends up dying. Like, no, they planned this. They knew.
And that video gets leaked just hours before all of this shit happened.
No, they knew. Well, yeah, the video or whatever, that's because of what Sheila and them were planning on. But Fury and them knew that they were going to be there and try to kill her. They know that they're Skrulls and can shapeshift, so they were ready for that. Those were blood packs. She had bulletproof.
No, it wasn't blood packs. And I when we talked about this episode, I said I got that theory from Lady D.
Wait a minute, they said about the new
she's
body.
An LMD. I think she's an LMD.
Yeah, could have been that. Yeah, absolutely. But one way or the other, the way they talked about it in the bar, like, are you sure about this? If not, somebody could die. I'm like, she never died. Like, that girl is still alive. Like, you ain't gonna kill me.
He could very well have called Monica.
Rambeau?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I mean, he could have called anybody. That's why I'm asking, like, who do we think he was talking to? But I think he's talking to Maria Hill, and we get a Maria Hill back.
Yeah, it's possible that someone else died, because he did mention the car. We do have technology that can do the whole body. So maybe someone else, like, used the technology for that body and just was actually, disguised as Maria Hill, died, and then she actually reappears.
And that ties into the whole Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing, because they really leaned into that whole LMD thing.
That's what I was about to say, the Inhumans. Yep. There's many a shapeshifter among them. And also, there are X-Men that can do that. There are mutants that can do that too. So, friggin' Morph would be a perfect example. Morph he was one of the X-Men early on. And he has the ability to come in and camouflage change into anyone. And I do believe he can copy powers as well. So it would be very interesting if, maybe he was calling Charles Xavier and was saying, hey, yo, send in the special unit.
Ain't he the one that died the first episode of the cartoon series?
Yes.
Tragic. And that's
very tragic.
That's where the meme came from with Wolverine in the photo.
Yeah. That Morph is actually, he's a bigger character in the comics. They didn't flesh him out enough, I think, in the cartoon. But yeah, he would be my number one pick. And that would be interesting because we know the X-Men are still years away. But if you give us like one or two trickling in, we getting Wolverine. So
I don't know about Morph, but I know Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did like 2 different seasons on Ada and the whole LMD thing. So I really think they might lean in.
I think, there's definitely LMDs in play. Facts.
Yeah, that could be Maria Hill, and that's how they're going to do it. So I think that's who he's on the phone with. I don't think it was Gravik. I think he was on the phone with Maria, and it's go time. So can't wait to see how they tie it up. I hope they do it the right way and don't leave us hanging. And I really hope they don't leave a cliffhanger for the next movie.
They're going to leave us hanging, though, because there's more to come. We got to tune in for the next shows and movies.
Well, if nothing else, they definitely better give us that extra credit scene with Sonya and Valerie, because that would be amazing. And I need that in my life. That's
amazing. I would also, as a B team, I would take Sonya and Yelena being in the scene. Oh, Sonya and Vera Farmiga talking shop about some randomness going down.
So give us 2. Do like you do in the movies. Give us 2 extra scenes. You haven't done one all season, so bring it up. That'd be tight. Oh man, so that's gonna do it. That's the one. I got just a couple trivia questions to see if anybody remembers. If you know these answers, write them in the chat box. If you're watching later, put them in the comment section down below. What city were we in after the opening credits?
Oh,
anybody remember what city were they in right after the first opening credits?
I think I may have looked away when that was playing.
Put that in the chat box. Watching later, right in the comment section down below. What city were they in? What alias did Fury use to enter Finland? Ooh, a deep dive.
Fuck yeah! Damn it!
What alias?
I believe he was a doctor or something or other. Something told me to write that down, and I think like the scene switched right when I thought about it, and I didn't.
Oh yeah, the guy from Black Widow cameo in this episode.
Yeah, yes he did.
Yes he did. It was awesome. Oh, absolutely correct. Jake Cruz nails it. It was London.
London. Good job, Jake.
Well done, you. Oh man, yeah, that was a cool cameo coming back from Black Widow.
Yeah, it was. I love how they tie these things together with just the smallest character in there.
What was the cloaking device Fury used to change his face called?
Widow.
What was that called?
Oh, there it is.
Widow's. Good on you, bro. Good on you.
And how much did Sonya say the research for it cost?
Oh, jeez.
Billions of dollars.
Did she give an exact figure? Or was it like, was it trillions of dollars or billions of dollars?
She said $1 billion. $1 billion for research, and it only covers your face.
The newer models do that shit, bitch. Leave me alone, okay?
Oh, and last but not least, how many kilometers from the Russian border was Fury's gravesite? How many kilometers from the Russian border was Fury's gravesite?
Of all the damn questions you can come up with, you didn't pick none of your usual shit, and I am offended, sir.
Oh yeah,
I had answers ready this time. Damn it!
We had to keep them guessing. Oh, Jake said $1 billion. Called it. Well done, you. Jake got 2 out of 5 of them. Not too shabby.
All right, I got a couple. If you got like
Knock
one more minute, fandom.
What is it?
Okay. What was the name of the town that Gaia met Fury in? And we actually said that name during the stream. The area that the Nazis had messed up during World War II.
Oh yeah.
And it was rebuilt.
There's a place in London.
Populated mainly by.
It's in London, but it's a specific place.
Immigrant West Indians. Yes, it's up the specific part of town in London.
Bronx, somethingville.
No, not a Ville. Just one word. Starts with the B.
Oh, wow.
Low key synonymous with Brooklyn, because Brooklyn has a lot of West Indian population too in New York.
Brixton.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good on
you.
Look
at Jake. Look at Jake knocking it down. 294. Absolutely correct, sir.
What was 294?
That's how many kilometers away from the Russian border his gravesite was. Look at Jake. Just killing it. Hold on,
all right. Jake. What is the name of the Connect from Black Widow that we saw?
Is it Jason?
No.
John?
One of the few times I will not call for full names. Just his first name will do.
Oh my God, I almost for that. I think I almost used this one. And then I'm like, no, they always yell at me for using names.
Wow.
No, bro, you should keep using names though, man. Keep stumping us. What you mean? Well, I only got one more after this one.
I don't know that one. I can't remember his name. Bodie John.
Jake, if you know it, put it in the chat.
John Bodie. John Bodie.
No Johns.
Oh my God, I was literally going to use that as a question. I remember when I put it down, I was like, no, they're going to yell about it being there. That is funny.
All right. What is the name of the song that Fonzworth was playing in the car with Fury?
Yeah, that I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the rapper. That was a rap. I couldn't even tell you the rapper, but I know he's actually a big guy blowing up in England right now.
He's real big overseas.
But I can't remember his name.
Well, I'm gonna say it just for whoever watches it later because I did like this song and I think you should check them out. Yeah, the name of the song is Audacity and it features Heedy One. It's by Stormzy. Stormzy.
Jake says they didn't tell us his name in the show.
No, they didn't tell us his name in the show, but we know his name from Black Widow. That's why it's a deep cut question.
At one point I looked at his face, I'm like, you look familiar. And then I'm like, oh yeah, Black Widow.
Yep.
I couldn't even tell. I had to look at the thing and I was like, oh my God, that's where it's from. Because it's like he's somebody. Who is this guy? And then I was like, oh shit, that's who that is.
I'll give you a hint. Evie O'Connell. We know who played Evie O'Connell. And she was also in Black Widow. What other name would be synonymous with Evie O'Connell?
I have no idea. No idea whatsoever. But that guy,
it's Rick.
His name is
remember,
Rick?
Brendan Fraser's name was Rick, aka Ricochet Rick. So yeah, his name was Rick Mason.
Oh, there it is. Well, that's going to do it for us. Really hope they bring this one home, but I'm afraid they're not going to. But, yeah, time will tell, and we will find out next Wednesday and talk about it next Thursday. Oh, any quick shout-outs? You guys doing any trivia tomorrow?
No, it's next week, I believe.
No, yeah, we're off trivia next week. We'll be doing – actually, I think next week will be Jackbox games. So we've been having some good laughs and giggles with that one. Then I'll be back on Monday to talk about this episode again with the ladies. We'll go through any new theories that come up, and then back on here with the fellas for
The Witcher.
What are we on? Episode 3 of The Witcher.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And then back again Thursday for the finale of Secret Invasion. So yeah, we're gonna keep pushing from there.
Hoping they bring it home. Absolutely. So that's going to do it for us. I hope everybody out there is having an absolutely fantastic week, and it only gets better from here. Until we see you on the next one. Be easy, everybody. Have a great weekend.